So on tonight's episode, I broke my truck.
Welcome to episode 105.
Welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
I'm gonna be okay.
He's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
He was so sad.
I was not really crying, but I am a little sad.
I am a little sad.
Yeah.
So, welcome to episode 105 of the URC001 Hobbies Show.
Yes.
He's Chris.
And that's Aaron.
So, on every episode, we do a lot of cool different things.
Yes.
Whether it's running trucks, fixing trucks, converting trucks to maybe drag cars, and a whole bunch of other cool, fun stuff.
Yeah, we also host events.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Like
We
our
also-
dust off.
Yeah, we also travel across Western Canada to go racing.
Yeah, which is
RC
coming
cars.
up.
April 1st, my dude.
April 1st.
That's not even a joke.
He's
It's not
going
even
to the
Fool's Day.
barnyard to have a, what's it called?
The Big Barn Shootout?
He's gonna have a shootout in the barn, the big barn.
Yeah.
First place. First place.
No, we're hoping for that, but maybe not. We'll work on that.
Fifth or up.
In the NA.
Yeah.
That's achievable. Okay, there we go. So, on tonight's episode, we have some sweet Traxxas Maxx footage.
Yes.
That Chris took out at the old skate park.
Yep.
And, I mean, you have a little bit of a graveyard of broken, but... Hey, there's the rest of the wheel!
Yeah, there it is, man. I found it. It was still attached to the truck, right?
You should pin that
This
to your
wasn't,
wall.
though.
Well, I would imagine not.
Yeah, I have a freeze clip of it hitting. Let's just throw it in right here somewhere, and let's see if there we get.
I mean,
Let's see
honestly,
the
all
carnage all happen.
I
It's pretty
remember
good.
from that video clip that you sent me was ding!
The ding. Make sure you turn your volume up for the ding,
Holy
and turn
dynamite.
that bell on for your notifications.
Hey, that's good point.
Yeah,
Good
ring the
point.
bell.
So,
Ugh.
let's just get it right into it. URC001, our drag build that we've been working on,
Yep.
is getting closer and closer to completion.
Yes.
So, by the time this airs, this is probably going to be sitting on the shelf, ready to go. So, it's going to be pretty exciting. We did just install a spool,
Yes.
but if you tune into tonight's episode, you're going to see
You're gonna
that.
see us put that in there.
Yeah.
Well, him.
So, let's just give her.
Yeah, give her.
Give her! Okay, so we got everything bolted up on the chassis, everything mounted, receiver is in the box, everything's ready to go there. So now we're kind of on the final stages of assembly here. So we're going to limit the shocks in the rear, and that's why I got these kind of taken apart. And we're also going to take this whole rear section apart. We also have to add our Proline body mount to that rear shock tower. But we're going to take this apart and we're going to re-grease the trans, because usually there's not quite enough grease in these transmissions. And we're also going to put a spool in the Planetary. So let's get this bad boy apart. We'll start with the transmission first, then we'll convert over to the shocks, and there's a couple things that we always do in here while we're in there, and then we'll show you how to limit the shocks and set your ride height with some extra cool stuff. So let's start with that, and then we'll go from there. Perfect. So transmission case is all apart. So everything's sitting here. Make sure if this idler gear does come out, there is supposed to be 2 PTFE washers on each side of the pin, which is right there on the inside of the transmission housing. So normally what I do and what I recommend is keeping all the screws in one side of the transmission case, so this side, and putting this one to the side. So we do take 2 extra screws out. We do take the hinge pins out for that side A-arm as well. Make it a little bit easier, so now the shock tower and all the A-arms are still attached to the other side of the transmission housing. So we did take apart the Planetary. These are all the gears, the cross pins, and the screws that hold the Planetary case halves together. So what we're going to do on this one is we're actually going to install the hot racing spool. So with this spool, the drive shaft pin is on that side, so it goes all the way through. And as you can see in the middle of the spool unit, there's 2 grub screws. So normally what we recommend is to take apart this unit, and we'll go through it and clean the grub screws and apply some blue thread lock, just to make sure that the cross shaft doesn't turn on that spool. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that right now, kind of show you some tips. This is something you can do on anything metal to metal. So for example, you get an MIP product or anything in a metal to metal shipping container or shipping style bag. it's never a bad idea to do this procedure, just because you're going to take all the machining oil off the grub screw. You're going to take any contaminants that may not allow the Loctite to fully cure. So we're just going to do that and get this up and running, and then we'll put this all back together, re-grease the trans, and then all we have left, limit the shocks, and then we got some wheels and tires to glue, and this bad mamba jamba of a car will be ready to rip. Okay, so got my paper towel, put some brake clean on that, got our good old blue thread lock. We use Worth stuff, that's what we've been using for quite a while around here. So what we'll do is we're going to pull out these grub screws. So they're pretty tight in there, but the minute we loosen one off, see, the whole shaft actually spins the minute we loosened one off. So you can see there's a flat spot there and not a flat spot on the other side. So there's only one grub screw holding this whole item together. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that that one grub screw is going to actually hold it, and hold it really, really darn good. But as you can see, let's see if I can get this to focus on that grub screw. They did put a little bit of thread lock on that thread, but on the one that was actually holding the flat spot of the shaft, there was, let's see if I can get this to focus, there it is, there was 0, and you can see there's definitely some machining on how shiny that grub screw is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the grub screw still on our cloth, on our hex driver, there we go, words, hard. Now we're going to run it through and twist it a whole bunch of times through the brake clean, and then you can see how black with all the machining oil that we got off. So now that's going to be a clean screw that is going to accept the brake clean. I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. And you can see all the extra contaminants that were on that screw. So this is always a good idea, like I said, to do it on anything metal to metal. It makes a huge difference. And then always just make sure you take a peek at the grub screws. This is the first one we did. It definitely has some paper towel remnants in it. So just take your fingernail and you can run all that stuff out, and make sure you get all of that stuff out, because you don't want that sucking up the Loctite as well. So now next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the brake clean. We're going to clean out the threads inside of this locker. And once we do that, it'll be ready to add some blue Loctite, get put back together, and then we'll get the whole Planetary assembly set back up with the spool, and we shall go from there. So stay tuned. We're now ready to assemble this whole thing back together. We have the hot racing spool installed. With this Planetary, you can only really put it in one way. So the flat side of the Planetary always goes in the transmission housing like that. Oh, maybe not. Just like so. We have the cross pin in there for the input shaft. We have both PTFE washers, one on the bottom side and obviously one on the top side there. And now we can clean out the inside of that. It's pretty yucky. We're going to clean the inside of that. Re-grease, we're going to use the Cow RC Auto Butter. We highly recommend that grease. It seems to be a solid grease for anything water resistant, anything with a high load. It is super awesome. Thumbs up. We recommend it for everything. So we'll put some Auto Butter in this transmission case, and then we'll bolt her back together. We'll just use a new piece of tape just for the bottom, because if you put this on like that, you can see that it exposes the bottom Planetary gear. Or just use black electrical tape, pretty much exactly what Traxxas uses when they build these. So we'll get this all put back together, this now installed on the chassis. And then once that's installed on the chassis, we will get to the shocks. And once the shocks are done, we're gluing tires. And URC001 is a race-ready roller. So there you go. There's how we got to this point in URC's 001, the build.
It's almost there.
Almost there.
Need some wheels, some shock tuning.
Yeah, that's what we're going to work on in next week's episode, is how to tune your shocks.
We're going to get oily.
That is correct. Usually when you build shocks, it is a dirty, greasy, oily mess.
It might be shocking
How much shock tuning we're really going to do.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Let's bring back into action here.
Yeah. Let's get right back into it, eh? So, as we talked about at the beginning of the show, Chris broke the Max.
Yeah.
But he had lots of fun doing it.
I did. You know, I took it out and we must have launched it like 8 or 9, 10 times through all the big jumps, at least 10, 20 feet of air in each jump.
At least, yeah. You were higher than the power or like the light post.
I landed on the wheels 98% of the time,
Except for that one time?
There was that one time when I said, you know what? I'm getting bored. So I'm just going to give it full throttle this time, and we'll see what happens. And that's what you guys are going to see at the end.
So stay tuned
And then,
for
of course, you hit the pole.
maximum carnage.
Yeah. It's just shock towers and the wheel, though. And the body's a little like...
A little shifted.
Nah, it's getting a little weak. Yeah.
But, here you go. Maximum carnage.
Okay, so what happened here? Looks like we're missing the middle of the wheel. We broke bulkhead, and then obviously the wheel flew right off. And what else? We don't know yet, but there's gotta be more. Time to get her home and see what we smashed.
Should we do a field try apart today?
What's the part?
Yeah. My turn, man. Okay, Aaron's gonna guess a part.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
like, what was this? When did we do this? Like episode 101, 102?
Yeah, 102.
We did the feel apart challenge. So Chris did not do it, and I gave him a really hard one. So now he's gonna give me a hard one.
Yeah. I hope so.
I cannot see.
Darn, this is tricky.
That's what I thought too. So how's that Luke Sports team doing?
Yeah, this one, yeah. No, you'll know that. Ah, maybe this. Yeah, you'll know this too, though. But I'll give it to him. Hey, here you go. You're just gonna know it within like seconds.
This is a pinion for an X Max. There's a lot of teeth on it, so I'm presuming this is. Oh, this is the front one though, I think, because it's long.
Oh man, yeah, you're.
I think it's 77, 79. Oh, 77.90. Oh,
You
fired.
lose, but you win. That was impressive.
Is it a front pinion though? Is it front
It's a
pinion?
front, yeah.
And it was
you
an
guessed
8S one.
You guessed right that it was a front too, yeah. It was hard for me to pick, dude, especially on the spot. If I had a little bit more time, it'd be like trying to pick that hard part.
You know what I would have picked?
What?
I would have picked that.
These?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what are they? Like, what are
I
those?
could have told that. The divot and then.
Yeah, but what would they have been for? Revo, X Max?
True. Well, the Revo ones are joined, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd be able to tell that.
So there was another clip of guess that part.
Aaron won way quicker than I did.
Yes.
Good job.
Good job. That was an easy one though.
Where'd you
'cause
throw my tooth?
I may have tossed them.
I'm not
Sorry.
too worried about it.
That was actually kind of an easy one because the pinion on an X Max is
It's very specific. Yeah,
Kinda.
yeah.
yeah.
I
But
knew it, but that's a good starter.
hopefully next time I'll have a special guest for guess that part.
Yeah, we'll give one to Chuck.
Oh God! Give him any part and you'd be like,
Yeah.
what is this?
It's a Traxxas part. Yeah, well, technically you're right.
Yeah, well, good talk.
Yeah, good talk.
There we
Give
go.
him something easy though. You might
But-
be able to figure out,
Yeah.
like a bumper or something like that.
No, we'll give him a control arm.
Yeah, no, bumper would be good.
No, bulkhead. Yeah.
Just
How
give him
about
a
a
Just give him a
tire?
whole truck.
Can you?
What is
yeah.
Chuck?
Give him this, eh?
Yeah.
It's like make sure you put your hand in the really pokey part.
It's sharp.
It is
Yeah,
sharp.
careful.
Owie.
Cut himself.
Bleeding.
Oh,
And on that note,
I'm sorry. We will cry this up. Don't cry.
Yeah.
Don't make me cry.
it'll make me cry. Oh, Lord. Anyway, that was episode 105
Yes.
of the Ultra C Hobby Show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're almost at 500 subs, so hashtag road to 500. We're like 475, so hashtag road to 500. We're going up, boys. So the only way
Share
up
with your
is up.
friends. Let them know.
Yep.
There's some sweet footage in this episode of the Max. So if you got someone that you know that wants a Max, make sure you show them this episode and see how it sends.
Full sandage.
Yeah. I've been so happy with that Max, and I can't wait to get the wide Max kit in. It's gonna be so much fun.
It's coming on Friday. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. So anyway, before we say goodbye though,
Yes.
please check out all of our other social media platforms like RC Deebs over here.
Yes.
Check them out on Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Don't forget to check out our website, www.ultrarchobbies.com. Don't forget to hit us up on all of our social media platforms with a store, Ultra RC Hobbies on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And yeah, we really do appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks for swinging by for 105.
Bye.